Hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of The Strength of Thousands here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. Before we get started with our show tonight and our faffing about, we have a few announcements. Here they are. First up, non-channel programming announcement. Are you in the Winnipeg area? Do you want to try PFS? Well, on March 29th, you can leap into Pathfinder Society at Amusing Games, GM'd by me. Boom.
Promotion.
Come and join me there. They'll be up on their website, Amusing Games, if you do that. Yes, I made it February. Yes, February 29th, not March 29th. February 29th, leap into Pathfinder Society because it's the day of the leap year. I've made it a pun.
Have you now?
Yes.
You've certainly made it.
But yeah, come
Congrats.
and hang out with me there. You hang out with Emily too, because Emily's going to be there. And also maybe Mark. Mark might be there. Their partner Alex might be there. Who knows? It'll be a party. But come and try PFS if you are in the Winnipeg area and want to do that. Program announcements. Tomorrow night, we continue our party in Remnant 2 with Datafang as we continue to make our way through Remnant 2 on the hardest difficulty with new characters. It's fine. I'm doing it with a dev. Then, on Wednesday, something special. You are all invited to the Starbind Festival. A lovely festival of love and marriage, celebrating the anniversary of the day the goddess Triad's avatars were married.
Oh.
And you'll be invited to that lovely party and to a double wedding. That's right. 2 marriages happening at that evening at the same time. Which will have half and half be played by our special guests, Crystal Calf and Emily.
It'll be fun. It'll be super fun.
It'll be a good time.
I won't be there, but I will probably hope. But I don't have
Do you
anything
wanna
else
be there?
to do on Valentine's. I have nothing else.
Do
to
you
do on
want to be
Valentine's.
there? It can be a triple wedding.
One more friend. One more friend.
Throuple wedding.
If Sarah wants to participate, I will possibly sit out because I also don't want to try to make a 9-person overlay.
9-person overlay.
Overlay.
9-person
overlay.
See, you have the DM at the top and then you have 4 on either side.
Yeah.
That's doable.
That's a lot.
People's faces will be tiny.
That's
No.
okay.
Do you
Do
remember?
you have plans?
Do you remember how tiny our faces
Do you
were
remember
when
the
we
circles?
first started?
Do you remember the design decision
the
that was me
submarine
trying to do
windows?
circles?
I thought
I
that
am
was me.
so sorry. My plan for Valentine's Day is to get a bag of vegan chocolate for myself,
As you should.
have some nice wine, a whole bottle of it, doesn't
Ooh.
matter, and stay inside, because I gotta get up in the morning for work. And,
But
I might just pop on Twitch and watch y'all have fun. Who knows?
That's fair. Might recommend instead of a bottle, a box.
Oh.
Excuse you?
Sarah's an elevated adult.
That's fair.
I grew up in wine country.
Yeah,
We
you
do
did.
not do boxes.
Maybe boxes of bottles.
Does
That
wine,
we do.
That's a
Does
crate.
wine in Canada come like the milk, like in bags?
Some of it does, yes. If you get like
To
the
be
cheap
fair,
stuff.
To be fair, anything you've ever seen of a box wine, there's a bag.
It's a
in that
bag.
box. Yes.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. I mean, because I
Physical
drink
hurts.
so much.
Yeah.
Matt, please continue before we start.
Well, no, there's still more announcements. That
Yeah.
was just Wednesday. Then on Thursday, we don't do anything. But Friday, well, not yet. There might be a new stream in March on Thursday nights because that's when the Minecraft server is starting up again. And, if I'm going to be playing it with everyone, I might as well make content out of it. Then on Friday, we have the Astral Calling. Our D&D 5e Spelljamming Spectacular. They're in a puzzle cube. McKenna's not there. Maya's not there. I'm having to rebalance a lot of puzzles that I spent months working on for it. Join us.
Well, we could just postpone a week.
Could. Then we'll figure it out.
I have one of my friends is getting married, and the bachelorette party is this weekend. So.
Yes, and Maya is gainfully doing another show. Also, thanks for the resub, Squishy. But I'm really excited for that show. It's a shame I won't get to see this one because, like, the last show of Maya's I went to, Scarring was good.
Oh my god.
I don't do horror. But speaking of horror, Saturday, Baldur's Gate 3. We dealt with the crash.
We did.
How'd that go?
It was
Yeah,
pretty
you
successful.
did.
Yep, the crash has been dealt with.
And Will
Congrats.
only yelled at me once.
You are.
Now, granted, it was
13% through
in a
with the
room
game.
full of
Good job.
acid. And I was like, guys, I can just fly over to this and avoid all the traps. No,
You
we're going
did not
to jump
say
in.
that until after. You did not propose flying until after.
And
Will's
then
changing up the story to
Kath
fit his
and
own
Matt-
narrative again.
Kath and Matt proceeded to burn an acid. And I was like, guys. Also, Kath broke the thing that we were trying to pick up by jumping on it in owlbear form.
To be fair, he was having a lot of fun with being an owlbear. It's a
Yes.
lot of fun.
That will be next Saturday.
And in my defense, I was playing Garl. What do you expect?
Yeah. Then on Sunday, we have Cozy Co-op. Come and hang out with Will and Emily. Because I believe we're down to Sarah. So you will not get to hear Sarah's reaction to the big game last night and the ending of the big game this week. I'm going to...
Didn't go well.
It did not go well at all. I walked outside. And I saw, like, as I was walking out of my room, because I just finished setting up, tearing down for stream, they got that touchdown. I was like, oh, Sarah's not going to be happy.
The controller went up, the power changed, and I was like, that's it, I'm done.
And the
God
two
damn it.
Swift fans are now unbearable. And then, so that's Sunday. And then lastly, of course, Monday nights, the Strength of Thousands AP, the show you're watching right now. And why are you watching this show? Well, because it has the most amazing GM on the internet, Matthew Urban. Matt, why don't you introduce us?
I appreciate the sentiment. I do not claim that title in any
I
capacity.
give it to you.
Yeah, he does.
You're a better
He does.
GM than Zeus.
Oh god.
That is an incredibly low bar to hit. I mean, he's a first-person shooter fan, so what do you expect? Anyway, yes, hello everyone. Welcome to the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path tonight with me, Matt, or Urban Office, various places on the internet. But I am not a one-man show. That is a terrifying prospect. I am joined by this wonderful group of individuals. Let's start with the person who laughed first, McKenna. Please
I'm sorry. It's funny because I just auditioned for a one-man show this weekend, so one man's nightmare is another man's dream. What can I say?
I mean, okay, actually, this will lead into the fun question. Introduce yourself, your character, and what is a funny little job you imagined as a child one day having?
Oh. Okay, well, my name's McKenna Ray Tyne, and I'm playing Avi, the Nyctera Witch, as well as her familiar Agate. And a funny little job I wanted as a kid. I guess define funny little, because I wanted to be
I will
an
give you my
actor.
example.
Yes, go for it.
Mine, I imagine when I was younger being a stand-up comedian.
Okay, so like a reasonable, achievable goal, theoretically.
Yes.
My reasonable, achievable goal theoretically was marine biologist. And the blow to my ego when I realized I just wasn't smart enough to do the math involved with that, absolutely soul crushing. I'm still recovering from it like 15 years later. So
What math is involved in being a marine biologist? Like depth?
you know, it's less that kind of thing and more like to get to the part where you get to work in environmental studies, you have to learn the biology part of it, and there's a lot of like formulas and
It's
chemical
advanced
compositions.
biologies and chemicals. My brother is in fact a macrobiologist himself. He's got a BS and everything and all of that stuff. And
But to do that, you have to
He's
learn about
full of
microbiology. And
Yes.
microbiology is where I started having the issues. Unfortunately, I
Yeah.
mean, there's a whole story there about how I got put in a class like 2 weeks late and was behind, and they changed the course up for that class like the very next year because they realized students were like killing themselves trying to get the coursework finished. So that's me. I couldn't decide. I was like, I'm gonna be a marine biologist and an actor, which in my head was basically like the performers at SeaWorld, like the ones
Oh.
who train the animals, but also do like the little dancey dance. The disillusionment with SeaWorld also just life sucks. Just that's all I have to say about that. It's a fun question, Matt.
But moving on to the person involved in the chat who does actually work with animals, Sarah. Please do introduce yourself,
Hello.
your character, and the question.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Margaret, Big Red Cat Photography on the TikToks. I am playing Charlotte, the Anati toxicologist. And to answer the particular question, my funny little wanton dream for probably about 6 or 7 years of my life was to be a vet, obviously. However, I realized that I have a little thing called empathy syndrome. So when animals are in pain, I feel physically hurt by it. And so I realized that even though vets are very important and some of the things that they do, while can cause pain, are actually overall generally for the good of the animal, I wouldn't be able to do that. Luckily enough, when I was 10 years old, I managed to stumble into this funny little thing called the theater. And since I was 10 years old, that's what I did. Went to college and everything. So, however, I still know a lot about animals, actually, because I just grew up and was raised around them. So,
Oh, really? What's a group of owls called?
a hoot hoot.
That is incorrect. You will suffer a penalty later on.
Damn.
It is a
That is
parliament.
Oh no.
I was going to say, isn't it a parliament?
It is a parliament of owls.
A parliament.
You know a British
Crows
person
is a
named
murder.
that. You know a British person named that.
Crows and murder. And a flamingo. Flamingos are a flamboyance.
They're flamboyants.
I think the best one, though, is In Unkindness of Ravens. Which is a little awkward to say, but it's pretty neat.
I think that's cool.
Speaking of the last person in this
Kindness.
chat, tangentially related to animals because they own one, so please introduce yourself and answer all the questions and such.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I go by Zozy Pose on the internet, and currently my cat is pouting because I clipped her claws today, and she was real sassy about it.
Oh.
But
Clumsy
well, she got treats,
Aren't
but she
they
just.
all?
But anyway, I play Ophelia. She's our Whisper Elf Bard, and she can also be a little bit sassy sometimes. So
Yeah, she can.
we're. And let's see. When I was little, I really wanted to combine all of the things that I did at once, which no wonder I turned out the way that I did. But I wanted to be a professional violinist, ballet dancer, and I wanted to be a chef, but also I wanted to be an ecologist who owned an ice cream truck who gave ice cream to all my friends and family for free.
That, I'm not sure, seems sustainable, but I appreciate
Not
the
at all.
sentiment.
Those sound like obtainable goals, actually. Yeah, no, I can see
Giving
that.
away
I can
ice
have
cream?
Just
Oh no,
give
everything
ice
else.
cream
The ice
away to
cream is
people.
just the plus.
But also performing and being an ecologist. Yeah, because my mom took me to her college ecology classes when I was little, and I had a blast. It's fun.
Oh.
And I think we lost McKenna.
Yeah, McKenna, you are freezing quite a bit.
Oh.
we
Oh,
just-
nope. She's gone.
Wait, who are we?
No.
Oh, I'm nobody.
Damn you, Spectrum. Grr!
You're
Oh.
you're a basic.
Sarah, you are Charlotte. Wait.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Hi,
McKenna's
McKenna.
Hold on,
possibly
everybody.
back.
We'll get there. There we go.
Can we get a crimes in the chat?
Crimes.
Can we get
I'm
a
on
crimes
it.
in the chat?
Hello,
That was fast.
Mr.
Well.
Obama. Please
no.
help me. I'm drowning.
And last but certainly
Please
not
don't
least,
drown.
Will. Please introduce
Hello.
yourself, your character, and what funny little job did you dream about when you were a child?
Hello, my name is Will, also known as Tabletop Rolls here on the internet. And yeah, tonight I'm playing Gama, Choco, Igura, Gripply Summoner, and their party, their posse, some might say. But that's for Wednesday nights. Yeah, you know what? We're here to have a good time. You know, my childhood dreams have not really changed all that much over the years, as like my goal growing up was to get a children's show, like a Blue's Clues or like a Big Comfy Couch, and to
Aw.
just do that for years and years and years, because that's sort of like my end goal as a performer, is to just get a children's show and do that for the rest of my life, be happy doing it, love what I'm doing, and just enjoy it.
Fun fact. Do you want to know what my favorite time was for the comfy couch? Should be obvious to anybody who knows me.
I don't know
Cleanup
that much about-
time. I love cleaning things, and so when she was like, "It's time to clean up," I'd be like, "Yes, let's go, put things away."
Aw.
And
Now-
I never changed.
Before we get into the recap and everything, Will, why don't you go ahead and push that intro button?
Button.
Oh, I love it.
We're back.
Welcome back, everyone. Fun fact, apparently the fear of clowns is primarily a Western world kind of thing.
It would be.
But before we get into the recap, we have technically entered a new chapter in the book, which comes with a new chapter opener, which I will now read to you. It has little to no context. Is annihilation the ultimate goal? The fools in the throat of nothingness think so. To hear them preach their grim words, entropy is the end state, and nothingness all the universe promises. But they don't live up to their own words. Their leaders have embraced undeath, as though to prove the truth of their philosophy. But the most cunning among them seek another state of being, as far removed from undeath as they now stand from the living. It is another progression to them, and not a progression towards non-existence. They are as much liars as they are buffoons. I have seen a better, clearer vision of their path. Not a path that pays lip service to esoteric concepts like oblivion, but a path that seizes immortality just as effectively as undeath. Lichdom is too simple. I can do better. Marvel at the insignificant ant, for instance, a creature that is singly so preposterously weak that his death is no more significant than the fall of a leaf or the whisper of a breeze as it drifted down on. If the throat of nothingness truly seeks nothingness, it would do good to look at the ant. Yet one ant is part of a great hive, and together the hive can claim indisputed mastery over their domain, strip flesh from bone, and raise mighty earthworks. It is within the ants, not the void, that true power lies. Now, everyone forget about that because I'm sure it won't be relevant.
We
What?
are all an ant hive mind. Okay, got it.
But when last we left our group of lore speakers, they had completed their expedition to Osaibu, the Golden City, and had returned to Nantambu and to the we lost McKenna. To the Magambia. And none too soon, for it was time to finally conduct the ritual that would hopefully purify the proprietor of the Black Hat Magic Shop, Mercedes, of the corrupted influence of her tiefling, or Nephilim as the new edition calls them, blood. Something in her blood had influenced her too much. She had tried to lean too much into that part of her heritage and had lost her way. Along with her old adventuring parties, minus one person, Black Tusk and Snow, the ritual was commenced. Shadowy hand apparitions were fought off. Revelations were made. Strange scenes were observed by certain party members when they were pulled beyond some shadowy veil, and whispers were sent to the minds of various party members. I was furiously privately messaging several players during the entire encounter. But
yeah, I forget I need to actually keep chat up for that reason.
I
really
don't
fun.
have any plans for doing it this week. This is going to be an interesting week. I have some of the stuff for the new chapter ready, but I'm not sure where you guys are going to take this initially, so I'm going to be playing by the seat of my pants here.
Listen, there's a cult you gotta deal with. And
So-
they're not in space.
I still don't know what we're gonna do about that fucking cold.
Well, you guys
Might
can,
I
I suppose-
recommend murder?
Why would that
Wait,
work?
wait. Let us finish and set the scene first.
Well,
Immediately where we left off our party, they had finished the ritual. Mercedes had been returned to the state before she tried to embrace her infernal heritage, and was now seeming like a little lost. She seemed kind of, in lack of a better term, factory reset to an earlier point in her life. She seemed just a smidgen younger, still an adult, full adult, but in a way almost looking more innocent. Like there's a lack of kind of mockingness behind her eyes. She always used to have sort of, a wry smile on her face, always seemingly not saying as much as she knew. Now she seems like, looking at her, she looks like an open book. A little confused, but an open book. She recognizes her old friends, though she looks at them with a little confusion because both of them are older now than she remembers, and that is a bit of a shock to her.
She doesn't remember us.
She has no recognition when she looks at you guys. She looks at the two giant frog things in the room and is like, what the fuck? And I'm not talking about Igra, I'm talking about Gamma and the other
Gamatatsu.
one. Gamatatsu. I'm going to call him Tsu.
Gamakichi, Gamatatsu. Gamakichi, Gamatatsu.
Don't sue us, Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
We and Boo.
we and woo. Perfect.
Okay,
No, I
I'm
said
sorry.
we and Boo is what I said.
I do have a Gamma mini just sitting on top of my desk.
And I have a Tupperware of cookies.
Aw. Gamma, I know you've been with us this whole adventure, but now that there's a new frog also named Gamma, we're gonna have to rename you, I guess. I'm sorry, buddy.
I mean, he looks at you and he's like, but we didn't rename me after we saw that other frog that looked a lot like me that tried to eat Igra.
Was
Yeah, because they
Also Gamma?
they
We
didn't
never
join us?
got its name. It ambushed him out in the woods.
Yeah, but
Oh, well, that doesn't count.
we don't care about their name.
To be honest, I've been having sort of a slow existential crisis about it for months.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, are you
I guess
okay?
That's fine.
I guess
You're
I thought
Gamma,
that
that's
maybe-
Tatsu.
I
No,
thought
but
maybe you would know its name because Igara always says like "Gamma, go," and I thought maybe the other frog. I thought that was just something that you guys had to do.
No,
Like Pokemans?
I just like
What's that?
saying. I just like yelling out my attacks. I think it's fun.
It is
I mean,
fun. You're not
sometimes
wrong.
it's pretty cool.
no nods. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Bard. It's
Listen,
just
Avi,
bard
let
things.
me have my small joys.
I wasn't stopping you.
Oh.
Anyway,
Snow mentions that this kind of wanders over to you guys and quietly says that one, thank you all very much for your help. But I think Mercedes is a little overwhelmed by this, so we're gonna take her to the inn where we're staying and just put her to bed for the moment. She seems a little overwhelmed and a little tired, understandably.
I just not recognize us at all.
It doesn't seem initially, but
me,
she may be suffering from what is essentially some like soul trauma. She might be, we might need to give her some time.
Can you just
give me like
indulge
6
me
hours and we can like mess around with her memory.
for I just
Snow
need
looks
like
at you.
30 seconds. Just 30 seconds.
The tongue slipped
Just-
off.
Sure. I mean,
Okay.
it's okay. Please be gentle.
Ophelia just kind of goes up to her like face to face.
How close are we talking here?
Like so close.
She's like looking to the sides.
Like so
Um,
close.
Uh,
And
Black Tusk kind of like squeezes her hand a little bit.
she puts
It's
her
okay.
hand at very close to the left side of her chest.
How close are we talking?
Not touching, just
Give a
hovering.
heartbeat.
Seems to have a slightly higher than average heartbeat. She's a little anxious right
scared.
now. Actually, Ophelia, give me a perception check. No? Hold on, I just realized my computer is...
that one.
Oh God.
I'm gonna let you actually re-roll that. Get advantage here.
Oh, okay. I was gonna take the fail. 41.
As you lean forward, to like reach out for the heart, you feel something shift in one of your pockets that you know shouldn't be in there.
I reach my hand in my pocket immediately.
You feel what appears to be a kind of texture of kind of glass, but warm, small orb.
Ah, what the heck? What the heck? I give her a smile
She kind of
And-
nervously smiles back, like looking around.
and back off.
Okay. Snow looks around at the rest of you. If there's nothing else, we're gonna get going. He pulls out like a little piece of paper and hands it to Avi. That's where we're staying. If give it a day or two. If we know where to find you, but if you want to drop by,
Check in. I'll probably stop in tomorrow, later in the day,
all right. Well,
for some time to
once again,
rest.
thank you so much for your help.
Yeah, thank you, and I just sort of wave to Mercedes. Get well soon.
She kind of nervously waves back.
Do you want us to watch the shop or just lock up?
At that mention, actually, Snow and Black Tusk, both their kind of eyes kind of like widen a little bit, and they look at each other and they go, "Oh, we totally didn't think about the shop."
Don't worry, I got it. And Ego's just going around. You just see him.
No,
Remember, we're not in the shop.
Igora.
Oh.
We're in a random kind of warehouse they rented that had an appropriate sized basement.
And we
In
can,
fairness,
I
I
can,
also thought we were in the shop.
I can go.
I know
can
it's
go
a
check on
similar
the
map.
shop.
I just wanted to reuse the map. This map was properly sized.
I can go check on the
gonna
shop.
rob the shop blind.
I am not going to rob the shop blind. That would not
I mean-
be a nice thing to do.
honestly, if we had thought of it, we probably would have asked someone from the Magambia anyway.
There we go.
So,
We did let them know that the owner of that shop was indisposed, so they may already have people sort of on it. I just wasn't sure.
well, I hate to ask more of you, but if you're willing to investigate that, we'd be more than grateful.
I'll hop on over.
Of course.
All right. Well, yeah. So they're taking Mercedes to the inn. What are y'all doing? Igor is obviously going to the shop.
I think we're probably, at least I'm gonna go to the shop.
Avi, you really don't have to come with if you don't want to. It's been a long day. You've been traveling a lot. Charlotte's had some emotional trauma. I'm sure that she might need an emotional support Avi for.
What's
I'm
your
going
deal,
to the
man?
shop.
Oh, god damn it. All right.
All right, so that's two people
You're
going to
so
the shop.
dutiful. Yeah, I'll head to the shop and like as we are heading out, Ophelia kind of like just to like glance at her pocket, roll quiet like.
Well, at least if we get there and it's destroyed, I won't be blamed.
All right. I feel you're just gonna like walk at the back of the group so no one is looking while you look into your pocket.
Yeah.
There is a dull kind of glow in your pocket.
What color?
Kind of a pinky red. It's a little hard to see exactly because you're just sort of glancing in your pocket.
Uh-huh.
If you wanted to pull it out, you'd be able to assess whatever it is properly.
Can I like pull my pocket like out a little bit, like kind of
Sure.
quickly, fast?
Give me a perception check just to see how much you can glean in this really quick kind of maneuver. Unless you want to do a deception check.
I'll do
33.
perception.
It appears to be a small kind of like it's almost like a overly large marble, the size of like not a huge jawbreaker, but one like slightly bigger than a normal sized eye, for instance. And inside there's kind of a pinky red glow, but you also see specifically 3 little kind of glowy dots sort of slowly rotating around each other like weird circular comets.
God dang it. Oh. Ha.
And it is warm
Okay.
to the touch.
Okay. I hate that for me. Okay, great. We keep walking to the shop.
All right. Y'all make. I'm gonna switch us back to the Ntambu map. Zoom, 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 zoom.
Zip, zip, zoom.
Boop. All right. You guys make your way to the Black Hat, which is in the southwest corner of the city. You do actually find some, not senior, but not freshman, but I guess junior students from the Magambia who I guess are watching the shop as part of like student activities or something, or class assignments. And they, yeah, wow, it's part of their class assignments. Like you have to do some stuff for the school. Is it educational? Maybe.
I mean, listen,
to
we had to
do
fight a lot of
stuff.
bugs when we were in school, so
Kinda.
like you're lucky.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, they recognize you guys. And yeah, you can totally go right on in if you want.
Black cat cross your path. All right, jumping in.
The shop
The
is a
Black
bit of a
Hat.
mess. You guys recall from the last time you were here, when you first kind of encountered things going a little nutty. Horrible centaur or horrible satyr man got out of a painting or something. Fairies tried to abduct the elderly neighbor. It does seem like there's a few more things that just sort of have crumbled to dust. There's at least 1 or 2 statues that just seem to have melted.
Oh my.
If anyone wants to give me just a general perception check, also let me know if you're looking for anything specific.
Yeah. The only thing that I am interested in, I know, is kept sort of behind the counter, but
Not my second nat 1 of the night on the
Well,
perception.
you're a little distracted. You're a little distracted.
Ooh, and I'll
There's
do one
something
for
rolling around in
Watch,
your
too.
pocket.
Oh my god, nat 20.
I
Oh.
can't stop touching it.
All right. Gamma, seemingly he turns his kind of big head to look in one particular direction, seemingly at nothing, and then kind of moves over to that corner, and he says, "Boss, you may want to come over here."
Coming right away. Igro walks over. I got this. Don't worry about it, team.
Also a nat 20 from Charlotte.
Charlotte,
What
Charlotte's
is
still
up
like,
your butt tonight, friend? What?
Nothing.
Well, Gamma gets there first. And you kind of look around Gamma's bulk, and first thing that you notice is like some almost like very thin, almost sort of like eggshell kind of material on the ground, except it's like gold looking. And then sprawled on the ground, just kind of like rolling around on its back. What at first you think is just like a very kind of golden furred kitten. But then it turns to look at you, and you see it's got two little stubby wings on its back. And it has very intelligent looking eyes. And it looks up at you and says, in a voice, "How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a
Nope.
woodchuck could chuck wood?"
Charlotte, this is all you. Igro walks away. Not what I was looking for.
Meow.
Hello. What are you?
What are you?
Got it.
Contract.
And I gently reach down and like put my palm out. Just like, hello.
Give me a animal handling check.
Doesn't exist.
Ooh.
Oh, nature check then.
There you go.
I watch too many different games. Ooh,
It's a 30.
30. All right, for one thing, it seems to react quite positively to you putting its hand down, and it just kind of like walks over and just kind of like plops its head down, its little head on your hand. It just kind of looks up at you. And you also recognize the fact that this is quite possibly a Sphinx kitten.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, look who decided to show up. Perfect.
Aw.
Hello. The criminal.
The criminal.
It looks at you
Sphinx
and
kitten.
it kind of says, "What has rivers, mountains, and forests, but no sky?"
A map.
Oh, he kind of leaps off your hand and trots up to Igra and nuzzles your leg.
Ugh,
Hey, you answered it.
I know.
What's going on?
Nothing's going on.
Just
Just
a little
need to-
Sphinx kitten.
I just need to find it.
You don't have enough friends in your menagerie?
Agate's
More?
eyes narrow.
Agate, you could have a friend.
Ooh,
I
she
think
don't
this
like
is a
that.
familiar situation.
I feel that a creature of this nature might be better suited for study and raising within the Magambia school.
Oh, of course. I mean, we can't
That's-
just leave a live animal here. That would be irresponsible.
So Charlotte's allowed to take stuff from the shop. I see how it is.
Oh.
Does anyone want to look for anything else? There's going to be some weird stuff in here.
Igor
depending
would
on-
like to find.
Matt, I told you in chat what I was looking for. I just need to know if I found it.
The Kigurumi
Uh,
collection.
Yeah.
You don't see anything like that out here, but this is just the shop, mind you.
Okay. I will. That is my goal, so I shall search further into
Okay.
the premises.
Avi suggests to the group that they organize things, maybe get some sort of ledger down.
Yeah, I just need to
Uh.
find a piece of paper quickly. That's what Igor's
Oh.
looking for.
I already did that the last time I was here.
Oh, can I Can I get a piece of paper then and some ink?
As you guys do recall, so there is the outer shop here that is full of all the magical knickknacks and stuff, some of which apparently seem to have just poofed into dust, some of which have de-petrified from being a statue and are now living kittens. And in the back, there is the stairway down to the basement where the kind of gallery was, where some of the cool stuff was. There was her kind of personal study, which probably had a room off to her bedroom, where she would entertain clients. Then there was the room with the cool living map.
Okay. Did
Oh,
you
yeah,
say
and the-
kittens plural?
No, kitten.
Okay.
And there was the room that seemed to imply that she was creatively sterile. That she couldn't create, any sort of art on her own.
I remember that.
Oh, poor thing. Okay, well, everything's cataloged. Do we want to just maybe clean up?
Yeah. Do I find that
there's so-
paper map?
Yeah, you find some parchment behind the counter.
I'm just going to write a note on it, and then can I just hide it in a place that she wouldn't find until she's cleaning a year and a half down the line?
To be fair, she has no idea she owns this shop. But
Yeah. I'll just hide
You can-
this note.
Okay.
Igor,
Cool.
what are you doing?
Nothing.
Now, if you
Yeah,
want to
wait,
do
I
it,
don't believe you.
And I sent Matt what I will leave behind, and I will leave it at that.
okay.
There we go.
All right. So Igor's doing that. Charlotte has gone back, and I'm gonna say, if you just want to root around in a closet, you'll find what you're looking for very quick.
Will do.
Is no one gonna say what they're fucking up to in this goddamn store?
I mean,
I rolled a nat 1. I'm not doing shit.
I left a note behind for her.
Yeah.
You find what you think is possibly some sort of ancient parchment, Ophelia, but it's in fact like a wrapper from some sort of food.
I'm
Is it at
looking
least
for a
tasty?
particular item that is
Smells
important.
of cooked potato. Could have been a hash brown.
Ooh, I love it.
I love hash browns.
So,
Hash brown patty.
no
Ooh.
item. What no and what item?
Sorry,
Oh.
say that again?
I will. I'm not supposed to tell what item it is. That's part of the promise I made, and I intend to keep it. As for the
Okay.
note, I have no idea. That's all Igor.
To be fair, now, Will, do you want to roll a stealth check to
Sure.
hide them?
I will roll a stealth check to see how well I hide this note.
Oh, was
Just-
that not in character?
Oh.
Oh, not even a little bit.
Yeah, just
You know what?
To be fair, he's writing a note and then sticking it under the counter. That's not especially suspicious.
In
Oh,
fairness,
wait.
he has threatened to murder Mercedes at least a dozen times.
Okay, but Igor has grown, and I feel like we've been up in his business quite a bit.
does anyone
Maybe-
go and read the note?
Maybe we should let it be. Just
Whispering
Just-
words of wisdom.
Igor, is it something harmful?
By my logic, no, but by most people's, yes.
Will
No,
will
it's a
you
threat.
tell us what you
Okay.
said, or
I will
Or-
just leave it here. If you wish to read it, you can. And then I just kind of leave the note on the counter. Put it back, though, if you can. I walk away.
well, I'm gonna trust you this.
Yeah,
time.
this face.
Avi, you can read it if you want. But you shouldn't. You should trust our
Do
friend.
this.
Why are you like this?
Igor, the punctuation in this makes it really difficult to read.
I feel like as we're setting things up and dusting things off, Charlotte just reaches down into a pack and hands giant leaflets of papers. This was the catalog that I made when I was here last time. I don't think
Oh.
it's accurate anymore.
Out of curiosity, Charlotte, as you
Yes.
were as you were going through the wardrobe, give me a perception check.
Okay, will do. 40.
40. Okay, well, you hit that DC. So, in addition to finding what you were looking for, you find several I guess you could call it little black dresses, some extravagant things that are some very slinky evening gowns with like twinkly little, almost like diamonds set into them. Um, you also find a very nice kind of dark, kind of burnt orange gown that seems to have never been worn and has a tag on it.
Okay, I'm going to look at the tag.
It says for Charlotte.
Oh, now I'm crying in a closet.
Story of my life.
Okay, I very gently I find the less slinkiest of the outfits.
It's a
As
little
well?
hard. They all have what could be generally described as plunging necklines.
Ugh, fair enough. Fair enough. I guess I will. I'm gonna take the orange dress and kind of just
Also-
like with the other item,
Also, like
put it all in my bag.
a feathered boa that might be slightly glowing, and you suspect might be like Phoenix down feathered boa.
Well, damn.
You got some nice shit in here.
I'm just gonna take the dress and the item that I found and roll them up and put them in my pack and then gently close the door.
Might be, Will. Might be.
Point of order, can I find the cart?
Not in the shop.
I'm going to go look for a mage in a box. And
Where are you looking?
Don't fucking know, Matt. Just, I'm going to go with the vibe.
Walk broadly around the shop.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check to look for something specific. 33. You see out of a window what you think might be the back of the cart around the side of the building.
I'll head over there.
Okay. You do find the cart outside. It appears to be much shabbier than the last time you saw it. The door is hanging open, and you can see inside it is just an ordinary cart in there now with an open box propped
Okay.
up against a seat.
I'm hoping that means he got out and was not destroyed when the entity that he made a deal with disappeared. Alright.
I guess we'll never
Never know.
Unless we have the whole end game thing where you guys are finding the final thing of it, and people keep showing up that you helped along the way.
Mm,
Well, hopefully he gets to go back to his kid. Alright, well, that's pretty much everything that I deeply cared about here.
Ophelia, what are you up to?
Does the mirror still live here somewhere?
I'm gonna say because it's so big, you don't have actually a hard time finding it. It is sort of like, because it was kind of like a, what do you call those folding
Like
screens?
an armoire?
Yeah, like a vanity or a screen or whatever, something like that. It folds up, sort of,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like pushed into a corner, sort of the parlor.
Mm,
It is there,
okay.
and it for one doesn't seem any worse for wear. Like, some of the stuff in here seems to have been sort of kept in its magical state by some existing contract, but you think this was literally just a good that changed hands as part of the contract. The contract was done, so
Right, right. The only thing is, I don't. Ophelia does not remember how to use that. I can't remember if you could just like look at it or.
give me a Arcana check or occultism, whichever you prefer.
Okay, she's an occulty girl.
With a good occultism roll and the fact that you did go through the process once, it's mostly just you have to sort of set it up so you can see all of the mirrors all at once,
Mm-hmm.
and you do have to sort of like really focus your mind at it.
Okay.
But it would take like a minute to set up. This isn't something you could quietly and quickly do in a corner when no one's looking.
Hmm.
It's a bit awkward in terms of its size and weight.
Right. And last time I just asked it questions. I don't remember if I had a certain amount of questions or if it was just kind of a
No, it was kind of like a inward-facing seance, sort of things.
right.
You tapped into your own inner thoughts and everything.
Oh, I don't know if I want to do that again right now.
It's like a reverse scrying.
But I definitely want to do it again sometime. Well,
I mean, I'm just gonna say this. As a lore speaker of the Magambia, you can order those students outside after you leave to bring it back to the Magambia. They can, load it
I mean,
onto a cart.
it's my property.
I mean, you could just tell them that
It is my property.
it's up to you. They are students.
It's
They will
your
listen to
property.
you regardless of what they think about the property values because they want their, passing grade.
Mm.
Look, we've all
This
been
is a
there.
school that
We
a
were
school
all
that
college
essentially
students
teaches
once.
adventurers. Looting is
Yeah.
part of the curriculum.
Well, because if I don't, who knows where it's gonna go? Who's gonna
It is-
take it?
It is remarkable that no one has broken in here yet and taken any of this
I
stuff.
will ask the students to load it on a cart very carefully, and I will tell them that they not only will get extra credit, but if it makes it back, I will also pay them.
They are a little surprised by the payment the comment, but yeah, in fact, they actually bring out, like, kind of drag over a crate, and they actually have, like, wrapping and shipping kind of supplies, like, not bubble wrap, because bubble wrap doesn't exist in this world, but they have
Magical
the,
bubble wrap.
eh, soft, magical
Cloth.
blankets.
I
Because
just have cloth.
some stuff that, like, one lore speaker from the school, who is probably a contemporary of yours at some point, came in here and looked around for anything that would possibly explode if not looked after. And that stuff was taken away right away. So some stuff has already been removed from the shop. Charlotte probably noticed that just from her having done inventory previously. But those were the possibly immediately dangerous stuff. Everything here was either actively possibly decaying or was not immediately dangerous.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll have that sent back to our rooms.
Also, you feel a little pat at your leg.
Hello.
Yes, Endures?
And it appears to... Dursa's actually not here.
Oh,
It's just the little kitten thing looking up at you.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Kind of rolls onto its belly and just kind of like wriggles on its back.
Oh.
You get the
May I?
impression that while it has the ability to possibly tell pretty simple riddles at this point, its communication skills are maybe not the best.
Can I give it a pat?
Give me a nature check.
Sure.
See if it gives you if it allows that, or it gives you a little. No, yeah, it was either going to allow you to pet it or give you like a little kitten bite. But you are apparently
Aw.
a comforting presence, and it lets you belly, and you immediately feel a purr.
Oh, aren't you just the sweetest thing? Do you have a name?
Name?
Yeah, I'm Ophelia. You are.
Give me a perception check, actually.
Giving it a riddle. The riddle is, what is your name?
You actually notice it's hard to see, but now that it's moving around a little bit, there is something written on the inside of its ear.
On the inside of its ear?
Yes.
Oh. May I look? I'm just gonna.
Yeah, your nature check's still in sort of
A
an
little
effect.
like scritch behind the ear and check.
There is a name written in there, Nefri.
Sweetie. Yeah, you're too sweet to just be here. We have to make sure somebody takes care of you.
It gets distracted by a random little like jewel on the floor and just kind of goes over there and starts batting it about.
Oh yeah. Well, who can watch this little cutie? One of the
I mean, you know some people that you lived with for a time who is good with animals, apparently.
Anchor root.
Yeah.
Anchor root will do well for this little cutie. Yes. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Is there anything else you guys want to accomplish at the shop? Is there perhaps any items that you're looking for?
I don't
Matt
know,
looks directly
GM.
at me.
Well, you let us know.
I do want to look for the knife. I'm torn on whether or not I'm actually going to take it with me. I'm
Where-
assuming we see the students carry out the giant like
Well-
vanity mirror set.
Well, let me clarify. Did you ask them to carry it out after you guys all had finished here? No? Just right away?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
mind if the party
I-
sees.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, at the moment it's folded up, so it just looks like a bunch of like kind of wooden slats with legs. But it's taking two of them to move it.
Yeah. If anybody looks over at her, Ophelia will just be like, "It's part of my contract."
Contract?
Is that true?
Yes, the evil Mercedes made a backup.
No. Is it true that it's Ophelia's by right of the contract?
Technically. Yeah.
Technically correct. The best type
Said I
is
had
correct.
use of it whenever I wanted to.
That's true. Then Avi inquires no further, but she is gonna look around, and you see her sort of hemming and hawing, and she just sort of says, "I don't know whether or not I should take this if I find it. On the one hand, I really don't want to steal, especially if she doesn't remember who I am. I feel like that's a really bad foot to get off on, but also I'm honestly a little bit scared that you know who is gonna come and take it."
What are you looking for, Abby?
Do you remember that knife that Mercedes showed us? The stone one that Kiara was looking for?
I thought she didn't have it anymore.
She had I think Mercedes has the knife. It
Point
should
of
be
order,
here somewhere.
Avi
Yes.
Avi. If they don't remember it, do they really have it in their possession?
Yeah. Amnesia doesn't just make someone not an owner of all of the things that they legally own.
But in this situation,
Yeah, Igra, in this situation.
Igra, are you a stealer?
oh,
Just
I'm not a
as
stealer. I'm just it belongs in the museum.
Charlotte would be able to tell you from the time she did inventory that the knife was down in the gallery because it was one of the more kind of
It's the rare one.
one of the rare stuff. So that's down the stairs into the basement where you guys had the fight.
Yes.
Correct. And Charlotte says this while just standing in the front area waiting for everybody to finish up. She's like,
Well,
oh yeah,
let's-
it's probably in the bottom basement.
I'll be
Shall we go
Avi.
together?
Yes.
Roll me a D100.
Uh-oh. Frightening. That's a 16?
Okay.
Oh, I hate that.
Okay. Okay. What? Oh.
What
As you
if-
were.
Okay,
As I
KO.
was.
Oh.
Would anyone be down to have another sleepover here? I think that would be a good compromise between not taking anything out, but also not letting anything be stolen.
Yes, but we
Or am I doing too much?
Avi, I
I-
say
well-
this with all respect to you.
can't live here.
I am not going to sleep in this place. Goodbye.
I would not expect you to. Goodbye.
Are you gonna go check out the basement, the gallery?
I'm gonna hear what Ophelia says first, but yes.
I mean, we have business back at the Magambia. I think we should spend the night there, and then I think what happens to this place happens to this place. The students are watching it, and that's as much as we can do. If you want to sleep here, but we don't live here.
Well, I'm gonna go and just check on it. Just see. Just see. We'll see. I go down to the basement.
Oh, okay. Let's go
all right.
together.
Not going to go to the secondary location alone?
Bad vibes from the basement. The last time we went, we were
So you both...
traumatized.
Were you guys going to go down to the basement?
I will.
All right.
Yeah,
The first thing
I'll
you
go.
see are the meat hooks. No. That's a different campaign.
Tune in Wednesday night.
The first thing that you
Scared for
notice
Wednesday.
when going, the first thing you notice when going down the basement, you don't even get to the basement before you notice something a little odd. The stairs, which are stone looking, seem to have some give to them.
Oh.
Why? And you make your way down, and what immediately becomes apparent, the walls are flickering. Like there's like staticking and shorting out a little bit. If anyone wants to give me an Arcana check, who's down in the basement. By the way, Charlotte, where are you at this point?
Following behind them.
Okay.
Whoa, shit.
Nat
Arcana.
20 from Ophelia. Holy
Nat
shit.
20.
Well, you
Nat
both figure this
20.
out pretty quick.
Yeah.
The room is decoupling from the shop. You realize, oh, this has been an extra dimensional space this entire time. And the magic attaching it to the shop is fading.
Okay,
What sort of-
let's get everything out of here.
What how would we know what sort of magic would have done that? Like another item or
This-
specifically
it's-
from her?
It looks like it's some sort of kind of permanent, it was like a magical, like Magnificent Mansion kind of spell, like the
Mhm.
kind that bards can do, that somehow was made more permanent by like stapling it magically to the shop. But the staples have popped out, and it's very close to maybe drifting away from the shop, being just a room in limbo.
I'm
Oh,
so
yeah,
glad I
let's-
checked.
Let's go
Yeah, you guys
fast.
rolled a 16 on the die,
Good.
too.
Let's
Could-
go fast.
could-
Well, out of curiosity,
Yeah,
would it have been
thing.
more or less decoupled had I rolled higher?
Would have been less decoupled if you'd rolled higher.
Shit. Well,
We
Yeah.
gotta go.
So you
We
may
go.
have limited time to find X number of items. Is there an item you'd like to prioritize?
yeah, I'm prioritizing that knife.
Both of you, or I guess Charlotte as well. Anyone who wants to help look for the knife, give me a perception check.
Yeah, I'll help. 34.
35.
All right.
37 for agate.
Ooh, nice. We went in order there.
Heck yeah. Just because she happened to roll the highest in a way. You guys are kind of looking around. Ophelia, you're like, there was like an index on this sign here before that showed where everything was before. And you're like, it's not there now. Now it's just a blank piece of stupid paper.
Oh god.
Then your agate like,
Yes. Yes.
and immediately though you think like she's got something wrong because it's just like this like magic helm on a pedestal or something, but agate is actually pawing at the base of the pedestal.
Yeah.
And it looks like, it just at first glance, it looks like a stone pedestal, like pure stone that this pillow with this magic helm is sitting on, but agate is pawing at the bottom of the stone pedestal.
Gonna check the base of it, see if there's any buttons or false panels or something. Goofy.
Just because agate is drawing your attention to it, you immediately find that there is a seam in the stone.
Okay.
If anyone wants to
sword in
just
the
try
stone?
prying. No, just a seam.
Just the knife in the
Like,
stone.
there's a very carefully inserted block of stone made to look like a side of the pillar.
Maybe
Oh my gosh.
thievery to sort of.
Yeah, if anyone wants to give me a
Illegal.
thievery check, or if you just have some sort of magic effect you want to do, or if you want to,
Al's a 27.
Just
you're having a-
hand it.
it's such a tight seam, you're having a little trouble.
Try
Something
again.
across the room
Ooh.
falls and
Five.
something across the room falls and shatters, possibly because the wall is closing in on it a little bit or something.
Hurry up,
Shit.
Avi,
35.
Avi.
35.
All right, 35. You manage with Agate's help. Actually, she like hooks some claws in there and pulls as the two normal-sized people are standing around watching the bat and the cat pull
I mean, the
itself.
two normal-sized people might be evacuating magical artifacts.
Well, they were help looking for it, so you guys pry it open, and sitting in there, suspended seemingly in liquid inside a glass kind of case, it's just floating there in the middle, is a crude-looking stone knife with some runes on it.
Do I get the impression that if I just stick my hand in there and grab it, that bad things are going to happen?
You can't. It's a sealed glass container. It's like a little aquarium sealed.
Oh, grab
Could
What if
just
I
grab
just
the
stick
whole
the
Let's
whole
go.
kit and caboodle and stick it in my bag of holding?
No, you could totally do that. You can. It's sitting in there in like a little. It's just like a specially designed little case that's transparent, but is designed so you can carry the thing without having to touch it.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, okay,
That's cool.
nice.
That is really cool.
That would be good for avoiding accidentally rending my soul.
I kind of because there's a bit from an anime where a guy has a sword so sharp it can't even go in a scabbard because it immediately just cuts through the scabbard. So his scabbard is just a tank of water on his back.
I love that.
That is so cool. That is so cool. I love that.
Okay, I'm going to just madly dash through the rest of the basement, grabbing as much as I can in that bag of holding.
I'm gonna give you all one round of let's see, what would be a good check for grabbing shit? Give me a
Well-
reflex save for everyone to grab
What
things.
if it was
Shit.
thievery?
Oh.
Did I roll thievery?
Anyone who wants can roll deck, reflex,
God.
or thievery.
I'll go reflex.
That's a 43.
I got 33.
I'll take a 43.
Nice
Uh,
44.
44.
All right, anyone who rolled over a 40 gets an item, which we will determine later. You're not even looking at a thing. Anyone who
Oh,
rolled...
can I roll for agate too?
No, because Agate doesn't have any thumbs.
He's,
He's
he's
not-
not, he's
he's
And
not
most of the
wrong.
items in here are bigger than Agate.
Mm.
And
What do you
anyone who
think,
rolled
Diglett?
under a 40, you
Can you
reach
do
for an
thief?
item, and it turns out to be, like, ethereal, and your hand just goes through it. So 2 items are grabbed in addition to the knife. You just throw them in the bag. You didn't even look at what they were, but...
I didn't have time for that.
No.
The stairway now
Nothing.
seems to be starting to undulate a little bit.
All right, everybody out now. Now.
Let's go.
Can I grab one more thing on my way out?
Oh my god.
I'm pushing my luck.
This girl wants to die today.
This will be a reflex check now because you don't have time for delicate thievery.
Okay.
You reach out to grab for this very beautiful looking sapphire inlet circlet. The moment you touch it, it turns into water and just flows onto the floor.
Mm.
Damn it. Charlotte
Alright, I guess
like
I'm
reaches
leaving.
over and lifts Snobby up and just like fly. It's like go.
Yeah, that's
ladies.
true. I can fly. Does that give me any extra time?
No.
Oh, the world is crashing around us. Up.
Yeah. You guys get to the very top of the stairs, and then there's a very loud pop sound, and you turn, and now there's just a stone wall where the stairs were.
Well,
Hey, ooh.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Agate goes, "Meow," and the very bit of fur on the very end of her tail is gone.
Avi,
Sorry.
was your greed worth that?
It's not greed. It's just
Greed?
a desire to salvage.
Greed
Charlotte reaches into her bag and pulls out like a thing of like just ribbon. Well, not ribbon, like bandage and stuff, and reaches down and gently wraps it around Agate's tail and makes a little bow.
Webley's like, "Oh, I was gonna offer one of my legs, but I guess you're already
No.
equipped."
Please
No,
stop
no,
dismembering
Evelyn,
yourself for
stop.
other people.
I don't feel pain. I don't have nerves.
Charlotte has 2 of her arms petting Webley gently, like, shh,
I'm
no,
here to help.
No.
I
I know.
cannot wait to read Webley the Giving Tree one day.
Oh no.
Oh, that's what the Giving Tree's about.
Oh no.
Okay.
Are you for
well,
real? Have you never read The Giving Tree?
No.
Let's
Oh.
see what we
Oof.
grabbed.
We're gonna get back to that later because I actually don't have that prepared, and I
He
wanted to
said
do
it was at a
something.
later
basically
date.
saying later, please.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello, handsome.
So-
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, if you guys are
So
done, you can head
great.
back to the Magambia for a good night's rest.
Yeah.
Can we go deliver the cat to
Oh yeah,
The
Root?
anchor root.
Anchorroot is delighted. She busies herself with finding bed and food and a book of beginner riddles.
Cute.
Sphinxes need a lot of intellectual stimulation. Also,
I can imagine.
something possibly to guard.
Hmm.
They like guarding things and then asking people riddles.
Would you
That makes
mind
sense.
if I had it guarding something in my room?
I suppose that would be all right, but I should mention that it's while it has an instinct to guard things and ask riddles, it's also a kitten. The poem.
Yeah.
It can't really guard anything effectively.
Here's the thing. But later on,
Yeah, it like falls off a side table onto a carpet thing in the background.
Oh.
It is not even that
Oh.
coordinated. Its wings
So
are not functional at this point in its life cycle.
cute. Okay,
So
but if we give it something to guard now, then later on in life, when it's stronger, you know what I mean?
It's very first guardianship.
I know.
Oh.
I mean, I'm happy to work out some sort of like schedule or something. I would like to, socialize it so it's. Then again, I suppose are sphinxes naturally solitary creatures? I'm gonna have to do a little research.
Right.
Yeah.
the
I don't want
answer is
to. I don't want to
yes.
enforce our values on it. Sphinxes have their own culture and everything.
See, this is why we decided we were going to bring it to you.
Yeah.
For the record, it has very much Teddy's coloration,
Oh.
except for
So-
strikingly blue eyes. Like, look at them and like, are those stars in there? Am I looking into
Oh
infinity?
my gosh, cute.
It must be a fantasy because that's not possible genetically.
No, yeah. To be fair, sphinxes are quite magical.
Yeah, that is true.
But on its I guess I don't know, on the off days that it can guard something, I'm gonna have it guarding the mirror.
Where are you keeping the mirror? In the kind of tree stump library where you guys live?
Yeah.
There's a few extra rooms if you want. You guys could start your very own little dragon horde of magic items.
I mean, we've already got a closet of poisonous plants being grown where
I mean, now,
Endurus lives.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Endurus' bedroom is, or the room he stands in, and
No,
exists?
question mark.
No, because
That exists.
all I picture with Endura's room, which is like it's a gutted closet, walk-in closet with the floorboards pulled and
Gutted
yanked up to
walk-in.
get to the dirt underneath, and like in the back is the place where Endura's goes with this rich dirt, and around all the corners are all, mushrooms and poisonous plants that Endures and Charlotte have worked to like dig in and put in the dirt to grow in the dark areas because that's where they're supposed to go.
It's got one of
So,
those heavy curtains over the window.
yeah, basically.
Every
And
once in
then
a
our
while.
main room is the library. We need to all draw our specific characters' rooms.
Well, we have a map of the library, so one day we'll actually draw on the map.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you guys want, you can get a good night's rest. There is a note left for you that there is some of the faculty want to talk to you guys about your big tree friend who came back with you from the area around Osaibu. Wink. The revelation that old mage Jatemba is still wandering around something, and that this tree fellow has some idea of where he might be is kind of a revelation to the school, and they're eager to maybe pursue that angle a little bit. Especially since the old gentleman's a little surprised he's not back at the Magambia. So that's something they would like to discuss with you bright early in the morning. And there's a few notes reminder that there's a new semester starting up soon.
Lesson
Yes.
plans. I completely forgot. Oh well, I've been here long enough.
Already planning on, like, she kind of has to stay up late and just write lesson plans for the next couple days at least.
Conjure coffee.
I don't gotta do shit.
Mhm.
Um,
Also, speaking of notes, let it be known that note was not left at the Black Hat.
Which note?
Oh,
The-
the
Yes.
one threatening to murder her. Just didn't feel
Was
like that would
what
be
the
an
note?
appropriate
Is that
welcome
what the note
home.
was doing?
That it was a threat, yes,
This is really
Igra.
a threat.
of Moida Most Foul.
So before we all go to bed, you guys get a full night rest, heal up, get all your spell slots back, and the like. Is there anything anyone wants to do?
Can I?
No.
Yes, Sarah.
I would like to do one thing. Just Charlotte by herself, if I may.
Sure.
I would like to go to the inn that Snow and Black Tusk took Mercedes, just by myself, without telling anybody,
Okay.
because I have an item to deliver.
Pajamas to drop off.
It's pajamas.
The inn is just. It's not a rundown, like it's not like a dive or anything, but it's not a super class high end inn or something. It's just called the Wyvern's Rest. So yeah, you can totally go there. The person at the front desk immediately knows who you're talking about, because apparently there's an open tab at the bar for Snow.
Of course. Makes sense. That makes sense. Yes, so if I just which room they're in, I'm not going to stay long, I promise. I just need
Oh
to
yeah,
check
you
in.
can go and knock on the door.
Okay, I do. I give
Um,
a brief knock.
Just before you knock, you do also hear just kind of like an old timey kind of like tavern ballad is being played on like a fiddle or something like from in the room. It's an older kind of song. You haven't heard it for many years or anything. You may have heard it in a tavern once, but it's kind of a pleasant song. It's very kind of comforting, very kind of like gentle and comforting camaraderie kind of feeling it gives you. Though it kind of like stops a little bit when you knock on the door. Opens up and Black Tusk is there, which you guys actually haven't spoken to Black Tusk really outside of preparing for the ritual. He is an older looking half orc or orc. It's a little hard to tell. He's big hood he's always got carrying. He's got like a crazy kind of like mantle of like sticks and bones and stuff. He is very much looks like someone who's more comfortable out in the wilds and everything. He's also a little hunched over. He looks pretty old and he has not had great posture in his life possibly, or he had some sort of injury that he never quite recovered from.
All right, thank you for reminding me. There we go.
Everyone remember to stretch and sit properly in your seats. But no, he was beaten with clubs at one point in his life.
Oh,
Rich people, man.
burn them, eat them.
Yeah.
I'll eat them. I am in the
Well,
body. Good.
But he kind of looks up at you. You notice like leaves and stuff intertwined with his big gray beard. Like, oh, yes, hello. Yes. I don't think she's quite ready for visitors yet. We're
Oh,
trying.
no,
Get her
I
comfortable.
wasn't. I thought that this might help a little bit with the comfort, and I pull out like a small set of pajamas that I've seen her, like the purple silk ones, and then I also pull out the pink Snuggie that I remember from. Just hand those over to him. I go, these were. I don't know if she'll have any memory of them, but they're items that I remember she wore for comfort's sake, and I thought that might help her just feel comfortable.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you. Um, if you if you want to leave a note, we're not going to give it necessary to her right away. We need to sit down and probably run through what's been happening these last decade or so since but I can certainly put it away and add it to sort of a pile we have going.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I just reach in and grab like it's just a random scrap of paper that I have from my notebook and scrawl a little note on it.
I'll add it. I'll add it to the pile. There's some. It's a little sad, but there's some notes from her paramour that I think she would like to have seen.
Well, good night. Thank you. Burr.
Earth Mother,
Good night.
watch over you.
And Charlotte just kind of like steps
Door
back
closes
and
and you are alone in the hallway.
Charlotte just heads downstairs. Do I see Snow obviously at
No,
the tavern?
you get the impression Snow was the one playing the fiddle in the room.
Understandable.
The night
Okay.
is cool and pleasant in Nantambu.
Yeah,
Still early
I think,
enough that the streets are a little lively. People go about their lives.
I think Charlotte just takes her time heading back to the tree. Just wanders and takes the long path. I think kind of sits there and goes,
Well, as you're walking through the city, a voice of just like off your shoulder says, "Excuse me, ma'am, do you have a moment?" You turn, and there is a fresh-faced, young half-orc woman standing there, wearing a crisp white robe, and she's got some like leaflets in her arm, kind of a bundle, and she's got a big bright smile on her face.
How can I help you?
Well, I'm trying to raise awareness. There's going to be a story circle, of people able to share their experiences and find common ground with their neighbors. All the information, the location, the time is here, and she hands you a kind of mass-produced kind of leaflet. I drew them myself. I'm rather proud of them.
They're lovely.
Well, thank you. Well, I hope to see you there. And she kind of gives you a smile and a nod, and wanders off and approaches some other people.
Fucking goats. just like folds it delicately into squares and tucks it in her bag and just like makes her way back to the tree.
And at some point during the next few days, you find that rolled up in Charlotte's things by accident, guys, and now you have suspicions about your friend. No. Will, you had your hand raised.
Igara's adventure for the evening.
Oh, do tell.
Bottle of booze from Usaibu.
Oh, yes. Guess what? It has flecks of gold in it.
Yeah, of course it does. Knocks on Teacher Odd's door.
You hear some like shuffling of papers and stuff. Like, yes, come in.
Opens door. Hey, Ott. Good to see you.
Oh, Igara, I'm surprised you're still up or not commiserating with Shizere.
Nah, Shizeri's taking care of some other stuff lately.
Oh, well, come in. I'm pretty much done my work for the day. I was about to head out for some tea before bed.
Unfortunately, this is not something I can really share with Shazari. But you're kind of read into everything.
Oh, is it non-alcoholic?
No, but I can't share it with Shazari because of where it's from. Wink. Pulls out bottle.
Because it's from...
Oh, from
Usaibu?
Mazzali?
Yes! From Mazzali.
Oh, from
Oh.
the...
We're forgetting that Teacher Ott is kind of like the most trusting person
Yeah.
in this campaign, even more so than Avi.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of fussies about and kind of leans down and reaches to like a sideboard or something. He pulls out some very nice carved kind of like dark wood, essentially like shot glasses kind of things. And he puts two down on his desk. He clears some papers out of the way. He hits one of them the wrong way, and it like turns into starlight and kind of dissolves into the air. He's like, "Oh, there goes a student's thesis."
Yeah. They can write it again.
I hope so.
Here. Igor will start to just like pour like a small cup. Like I'm not going to blow the whole bottle, but I'm just like
Oh, well, they're shot glasses, no like.
yeah, just like a little, just enough for us to each like have like a taste of it. Thank you. Wanted to say, haven't really had a chance to sit down with you
Well,
ever to
I'm not
say.
sure what you need to thank me for.
I appreciate the guidance, my friend.
Oh well, it helped. You know, I once had a friend who was a chef, and I always complimented him on his excellent meals. And he always told me it helps if you work with the right ingredients.
I appreciate that.
Well, here's to your continued success, my friend.
And here's to yours. And just kind of
well.
like raises the shot glass, takes a drink.
As you've been making quite a name for yourself outside the city.
Yeah. Yeah, I have. But that's beside the point. I just, like I said, I wanted to give you a little thank you for all the time that you spent with us. And, yeah. Igor just kind of, like, gets everything, puts it away, like, does, like, the cleaning with some magic, and then just, thanks for everything, mate. And heads out. And then he's going to go and find Shazari.
Before you leave,
Yeah.
just as you're like stepping out the door, he says, Igora,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, I know we are colleagues now, you know.
Yes.
We are all teachers, lore speakers here at the Magambia, but if you ever need to, you know, talk or, you know, just have someone listen to, my door is still, will be forever open.
That's why I'm happy to have you around, friend.
Have a good night's rest. I look forward to hearing what I can't try to remember his darn name. Dimari DG
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
has
Yep.
to say tomorrow about Jatembe.
Igoro will go find Shazari and have a very similar conversation, just like a quick drink. Hey, thanks
Well,
for hanging around.
He
man.
starts to pepper you with questions, not about the drink's origin necessarily,
How
but
it was
about
made.
possible composition.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, do you know what percentage of alcohol it is? Do you know the
Here, I
method
got
they
it.
use to make
I,
it?
I knew Shazari would ask all this. Like, just hand him a paper.
You do notice that he does seem to treat it a bit more kind of academically than he used to. He really is getting into more the science of mixology and everything, not just so much as a hobby and something he's drinking. He like takes several sips and really seems to contemplate it. He very much enjoys it, but now he's like, he really is approaching it with like an academic's eye.
Got one
And
last thing. Stop after Shazari.
All right,
I'm going to summon Gama.
River.
I'm going to use my abilities as a summoner, give him a fly speed.
Ooh. Okay.
I am going to have him fly up and just keep flying up
All right.
And we're basically going to go to the point where, like, not like a plane, but like a solid like couple stories above the city.
Okay.
And we're just going to
You do feel like a slight resistance at one point as you sort of
Yeah.
pass through a kind of slight barrier around the Magambia.
yeah, and I'm just
But
going to
It's the tingle.
leisurely float towards a giant tree.
Ah.
Oh,
Well, I should mention, this isn't like, the tree isn't like a world tree.
No, but it's like a very large tree.
It's a notably big tree. At
Yeah.
least appears to be.
And like I'm floating high enough that we'd be like up towards like the clouds. I just want to get a look down on like the sort of area around it.
Okay. Keep in mind that
Yeah.
the height you're at that affords you, this freedom to move around and look down on everything will make it difficult to
I know.
ascertain details
I don't
unless you
want-
have.
I don't want like intricate details. I just want like a general layout of of the central area, and like to see if I can figure out about average how many people are in there at a time.
All right. Well, you kind of pass over the area where the tree is. Give me a perception check, because you are having to try and survey this from a pretty big height.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, 32.
32.
It's not bad.
you get the impression that there's maybe a dozen people kind of milling around the tree. Some just based on the fact that they're not moving and probably sitting or something. A couple little kind of dots move back and forth. One thing you do note, now that it's gotten kind of dark out, is, and one of the things that makes it a little difficult to discern details, is that the tree does seem to give off sort of almost like a moon glow. Just a soft kind of illumination at night. It's kind of pretty, honestly, looking at it, without taking into any sort of like the connotations of what its purpose might be or the people who engineering it is. It is kind of a nice thing in the skyline of the city at night. Like, it's a soft, glowing, natural-looking tree, all kind of pale and whitish, but still very kind of pretty.
Yeah, Igor was just kind of looking down at it for a few minutes, keep getting an idea of what's going on down there. Alright, Gamma. Outside the city now. We're going to sleep rough tonight.
You, your money, boss.
Yep.
So Gamma finds you a kind of a raised kind of like hill area with trees and stuff.
Cool. Yeah, and then Igor
He opens his mouth wide.
Igor will just set up a camp there and say, have a good night, Gamma.
Okay, boss. You want to crawl in?
Nope, I'm going to tent it up tonight. I got some private matters to take care of tonight. Igor just goes and sits in the tent and opens up a book and just starts writing in it, and that will be his evening.
Anyone else have anything they
on?
want to do before we
No
go to
idea.
bed?
No, I'm just gonna write my fucking lesson plans and go to bed. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, you guys go to bed. You wake up. So, just as a reminder, the ancient arboreal, Damari Digi, told you guys that Old Mage Jatambe was currently somewhere on a place. He phrased it was currently on Akaton. That means to you guys is a little unclear. You guys do have the question of what that means, how you might get there, because the school is quite interested in reestablishing contact with Old Mage Jatambe. This is all being discussed at sort of like a staff meeting in the morning. But there is also, of course, your responsibilities as teachers of the Magambia. A new academic semester is about to begin, and especially considering your recent absences, which admittedly have been at the school's request, you guys are expected to teach at the school for about 3 months.
Understandable.
Now, a cursory look into the school's records, and this is being presented to you guys. Someone apparently has already been doing a little bit of poking around. A cursory look into the school's records about Akaton is that it is through a doorway known as the Doorway to the Red Star. Now, the problem with this being the portal doesn't always function. It is known that it can transport people between Galarian and Akaton only when the two destinations are in proper alignment, which only occurs a couple times each year. The alignment is based on a complex combination of the two destinations' physical locations and the ebb and flow and rise of regional magical energies around both sides of the portal and other occult factors. They do believe that the next window for using the doorway to the Red Star opens not long after the next upcoming semester ends. So you will have time to, do your school responsibilities, so to speak, and then launch an expedition to these somewhat infamous ruins. Now, while there is, of course, any sort of things you guys want to accomplish with your semester of school, the adventure path concerns ourselves with preparatory research, because there's a lot of unknowns revolving around this doorway and Akaton, and considering this is a very magical and important location, it's very possible that there is guards or defenses, knowledge of which may be within the archives or resource materials of Magambia, but no one at the moment exactly knows where to look or what that information is. So, you guys are going to be, if you want, doing some research. And to get it basically, let's see, we are going to be doing like 2-week increments of the 3 months.
So 6.
Yeah. And just making sure I get this.
Whoa, that was some good fast math right there, Dean.
Yeah, so basically, you are all going to get to do like a research role for each of these 2 weeks. So between your course load and the research, you essentially will get a result from the research every 2 weeks.
I'm sorry, Matt. For my notes, what was the name of the guy that we're supposed to be looking for in Akaton?
Old Mage Jatambe. He is possibly one of the most famous wizards in all of Galeria and its history. He founded, along with his, I think, 12 or 13 magical warriors, he founded the Magambia quite a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like folk tales and myths about him, kind of like a more academically inclined Gandalf in a way.
Got it.
And it should be noted, let's see, just want to make sure there is a interesting individual who is going to play a big part in your research. Once you guys start to prepare for the expedition in terms of the research and everything, a individual from the school approaches you and is probably going to be your primary assistant and source of information for this. Her name is Asanu. She is a female Aruxi. Yeah. And she's the one who did all the initial research that lets you know that the doorway is only open for specific times and all the kind of crazy requirements that need to be done. Beyond this, Asanu can offer you guys a few more places to start your research. She points out that the area around the doorway is currently under the protection of a dedicated guards called the Lobane. And to reach the doorway in the first place, the heroes need the support of those Zenji Magi. I guess the Lobane are Zenji Magi.
Okay.
Apparently, they expect a gift from people coming to speak with them. So you need to be able to figure out what kind of gift they might like. Yeah, since they're a culture of warriors and spellcasters, gifts of magic staves or magic weapons might be a good place to start, possibly.
I could make something, I guess.
Though, and this you guys are like having various meetings about this as you deal with your coursework. She comes to see you every now and then to give you updates on her research. And one day when you guys are sitting like between classes the first 2 weeks or the first week with coffee with her or something, she kind of mentions, and her expression darkens a little bit, that recently, for reasons which no one is quite clear, the Lobane have taken a dim view of the Magambia, which may complicate matters to reestablish diplomatic relations with the Lobane. But if you guys can reestablish diplomatic relations, you'll not only secure access to the doorway, but rebuild a damaged relationship. So,
Do we know why it was damaged?
no, it's unclear. It just what little we don't have a lot of communication with them to begin with. The gateway to the red doorway is off in a crazy location, but the few communications we've had have just kind of grown very cold and standoffish.
Oh.
It's unclear why.
Well, I guess it's a good thing we have everybody's favorite bard.
Yeah.
How can
Now-
they say no to that face?
So what I'm going to let you guys know, so we are going to be engaging in research to acquire research points. And
Yeah.
you can gain a maximum of 2 research points for the 2 different subjects at this time. And each research point will give you more information. So
Gotcha.
the 2 subjects are... give me a sec. One sec.
Yay. Research with my -1 intelligence.
Doorway to the Red Star, the Lobane, and I'm gonna look on that one because I'm gonna have to check on this because one of these I'm like, how would they know to research this yet? But we can start with the other one. So, so for the Doorway to the Red Star, the research checks are, say it with me, everyone, library lore, academia lore, or religion.
Religion.
And the Lobane is academic lore, library lore, or arcana.
Okay, thank God there's Arcana.
So, for this first week, everyone's going to get a chance to roll once. So we're going to go around the group if anyone wants to start with anything in particular.
42.
Oh, you're just throwing already?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I thought you said to roll.
That's fine.
I'm really excited to roll Arcana.
So that will be a critical success because the DC for Arcana for the Lobane is 27.
Oh, whoa.
All right, so you gain 2 research points. So I guess I'll just tell you all the things. So the Lobane research point 1 gets you. The Lobane are a sect of Zenji Magi who can trace their lineage back to the 10 magic warriors, who, alongside Jotembe, fought against the King of Biting Ants and other threats to Galarian. They place significant value on items once owned by any of the 10 magic warriors, or items that present additional information about these fabled warriors. I can't tell if we've lost McKenna.
We have.
Okay, well, considering this was her check, I'm going to maybe see if we can get her back. Slowly. Maybe. We'll see. Before I launch into that, does anyone want to roll on the Doorway to the Red Star?
Igor will try it.
Also,
Yeah, what were
because
those checks
because
again?
it's been mentioned now, if anyone wants to possibly pursue research in the King of Biting Ants, that is now a track that is also available. The checks for that are academia lore, library lore, or occultism.
I'll go for that one. I'm well versed in stories as an Uzanjati.
All right. So do you want to? You're going to do the King of Biting Ants?
Yeah, but let Igura do his roll first.
Okay. What did you want to do, Igor?
I'm going to do an academia lore for
Doorway.
yeah for the doorway.
Hello,
Hello.
Hello, welcome
Mr.
back,
Obama.
Mr. Obama.
I'll hero point
Help
that.
me. I'm drowning.
Oh, that'll be
A failure.
Or I'm
Only by
putting in-
one.
So
Only
I
by
rolled a
one.
19 on that, Matthew.
Oh wait, no, sorry, no. You were on Academia lore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's a success then. Only by one though, because Academia's success was 34.
All right, so friends, in order for me to be useful during this, I need to roll an 18 on the die.
I see.
All right, so you get one research point. I'm going to read Igor's thing, then we'll go back to get the second bit of you, McKenna, because you did get a crit. All right, so for a one research point discovery on the Doorway of the Red Star, the area around the Doorway of the Red Star has been a source of conflict during many ages and generations. Whether it is something tied to the history or magic of the doorway, or simple coincidence, is unclear. But heavy threats inevitably arise, and the only intervention of heroes, like the 10 Magic Warriors, ever marks a return to peace in the area. The last great evil to claim to the doorway was a nihilistic cult known as the Throat of Nothingness. Little is known of the cult, for its members share their religious beliefs only with converts. Since conversion typically involves transformation into an undead creature, few spies have ever been successful in infiltrating their ranks and returning. This research confirms that the doorway can only open once or twice each year, during which time it remains potentially active for about a month, but also that it hasn't been opened in decades. The next window of potential activity is not long after this new semester is scheduled to end. And that was one research point for the doorway. And for the second thing, McKenna, how much did you get on the first thing?
Up until
42.
literally right up until you said, "Oh, I think we might have lost McKenna."
Okay. All right, so right into the second research point because of your crit for the Lobane.
Yay.
The Lobane currently guarding the plaza around the doorway to the Red Star are led by a warder chief Mapondo, who has a well-known reputation for being stern but fair. Those who seek to study or pass through the doorway to the Red Star are wise to respect Warder Chief Mapondo by using his full title when addressing him and avoiding speaking ill of any of the Zenji. So, he's a prideful man and he takes pride in his people. So,
Warder Chief Matombo?
Mapondo.
Mapondo.
Mapondo. So,
Okay.
Pondo with an M right in front of it.
Warder Chief Mapondo.
Yes. And all right, and Ophelia wanted to roll on the King of Biting Ants lore. That's going to be, I think, occultism is probably your best bet.
Yes, an occultism check.
Yes.
I
Was
rolled
that the
a
33?
33. I think I just missed it, right?
Just missed it as a 34. We're going to
Dang.
move to Charlotte then. There is 2 levels of research King of Biting Ants left, and 1 level for the Doorway to the Red Star. Doorway to the Red Star is religion, academia, or library lore, and the King of Biting Ants is academia, library lore, or occultism.
Let's go for a religion check for the doorway.
All right. Feel free
So
to
we'll
give me
see.
a religion roll.
How well that goes. That's bad. Never mind.
This, unfortunately,
Alright.
is a pretty esoteric topic. You find some interesting passages about poisonous ants that possibly distracts you from what you're supposed to be researching. But you're like, oh, this is pretty neat.
That's much more interesting.
And that brings to the end the first week of research.
Oh, the first fortnight of research.
Quick,
There's
do the
there's a
law.
feat. There's a Nuzanjati feat that I may have been able to use there.
Oh,
Let me see. But it's for recall knowledge specifically.
yeah, this is more research than recall knowledge.
Gotcha. Okay.
This is finding new information, not remembering stuff that you already knew.
Alright.
So at the end of your first 2 weeks, you guys are one thing you learn about Asanu is they are a specialist in the field of diplomacy, history, and relations, and they often represent the Magambia's interests in sensitive negotiations with powerful visitors or foreign diplomats. At the end of this 2 weeks, she kind of lets you guys know that one of the things that she's working on when she's not helping you with research is negotiation with a sovereign dragon named Raido Khan. And apparently, this dragon has come to the Magambia seeking the return of a treasure that he claims was stolen from him by a group of adventurers, and which he believes was ultimately sold to the Magambia. The treasure is a portion of a bejeweled scepter, broken at both ends but still stunning in its artistry and worth a small fortune alone for the precious gems that adore it. Raido Khan has traveled to the Magambia from the distant continent of Tianxia in the search of the shattered scepter and insists he won't leave without it. You are informed that the details of Raido Khan's claim are mostly accurate. A group of adventurers did infiltrate the dragon's lair and steal the broken scepter from his hoard. But they didn't sell it to the Magambia. They handed it over to them. Unbeknownst to Raido Khan, the Magambia contracted and funded the theft in the first place.
Of course they did.
Ooh.
Before it shattered,
sounds like maybe
This
we should give
belongs
it
in the
back.
museum.
here's the thing. Before it shattered, this scepter was a dangerous artifact known as the Soul-Keeping Scepter, a weapon that could consign mortal souls to unwanted eternal punishment in the afterlife. Essentially, it could force someone to go to hell, whether or not they deserved it or not.
Go to hell.
Yep.
Bam.
For centuries, the Magambia kept the Soul-Keeping Scepter under lock and key to keep it from falling into the wrong hands. They do that for a lot of magic items. One day, after an attempt to destroy the artifact only partially succeeded, the Soul-Keeping Scepter split into 3 fragments, and each section was hurled away across the world into parts unknown, like the Dragon Balls after they're used. When the Magambia discovered that the central fragment of the Soul-Keeping Scepter had come into Raido Khan's possession, they hired a group of adventurers to retrieve it. You know, it was probably an adventure path.
It was,
pardon me, no.
actually. It was the scenario.
Scenario, that's, yeah. As even shattered into 3 pieces, the school remains concerned about the harm the artifact could cause if someone was able to repair it. Raido Khan knows the truth of the Soul-Keeping Scepter's dangerous ability, and even shares the Magambia's concern. But he has a very different idea on who should watch after the artifact. He believes that the central section fell into his care for a reason, and he is the chosen guardian of that fragment. Asanu relays this information to you all and requests your assistance in the negotiations, having heard what a good job you guys did at Mazzali before Mazzali did Mazzali stuff.
Oh, not me. I don't talk to people. I'm bad at it.
I'm bad at it, but I talk to people anyway.
Both of you
Asanu
are
turns
better
to
at
look
talking
at-
to people than you think.
So basically, we're going to do this next week. You guys are going to be helping negotiate with the dragon about not giving them something for their hoard.
Holy crap,
Oh,
that we
God.
stole?
I mean,
No, we funded.
Asanu
We
likes to call it
funded
liberated.
stealing? Oh god, so bad.
To be fair, Asanu kind of says this, to be fair, we were looking after it first, and it only ended up with Raido Khan by accident. What they think they were chosen or what have you, that's up to interpretation. So we're just trying to essentially cleaning up our mess.
That's true.
But,
I
you know,
guess it was
dragons
ours
don't
first.
see it that way. But,
Yeah.
and it kind of
They're
leads you guys to a
yeah.
balcony and kind of points over, and there's like a courtyard off to the side in the Magambia, and there's just a dragon just sitting there. It appears to be like talking with some people who are like bringing it refreshments or food. But there's just a dragon sitting there, waiting.
What kind of dragon?
I'm gonna open this up, making sure I've got the right image in my own head. It is loading slowly.
Loading.
So Raido Khan is a kind of Tien-style dragon, so kind of an Eastern-style dragon. No wings, long serpentine body, but they are quite gorgeous. They are gold-plated with kind of red kind of mane. Very dignified. Very. They are not. They're not an evil like gold kind of dragon. They're a kind of wise, scholarly kind of dragon. So it's not a greedy dragon. They legitimately think that it's just better off in their possession. So, but we will probably get more into that next week.
Matthew, I have a question.
Oh, pardon me. Very specifically, it is an imperial dragon. That's what it's called. Its class.
dang.
Cool, cool, thank you.
I have a question
Yes.
because a week has passed and this would have happened. Within like the first day or two, I gotta go back and visit Mercedes and just see how she's doing.
Just because I want to give that scene enough room to breathe, we're gonna leave that for next week.
I respect it, but boo.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Next week, Dragon and Mercedes.
And hopefully an update to the intro, because I wanted to spend time over the long weekend updating that.
Yes, it is a long weekend, so expect a super long Sunhaven session this week. And otherwise, thank you all so much for coming. Check out our many other shows here on the channel. Tomorrow, playthrough with the developer of Remnant 2. Wednesday, A Wild Ambition. Friday, The Astral Calling. Saturday, the Tabletop Bros return to Baldur's Gate. And Sunday, we of course have Cozy Co-op. Before Monday night happens again, and we get to see what happens next on the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path. Goodbye now.
Good night, everyone.